In the middle of a crowded train station, where thousands passed without noticing a thing, one silent message was sent by a terrified child. And only a dog heard it. What he did next changed everything. The morning buzz at Riverton Central Station was thick with noise-rolling suitcases, rushing footsteps, echoing announcements, and the usual wave of tired travelers moving like tides. Officer Adrian Cole adjusted the strap of his vest as he walked beside his canine partner, a disciplined Belgian Malinois named Blaze. The station looked ordinary, almost peaceful, but peace could hide danger, and danger rarely warned before striking. Adrian scanned the hall like he always did, while Blaze trotted calmly at his side, ears twitching with every new sound in the environment. I share news stories here every day, and I would really appreciate it if you hit subscribe and liked my video. Now, let's jump back into my story. I'm sure you love it if you keep listening till the end. Even on a normal day, Blaze never missed a thing. He was fast, sharp, and frighteningly intuitive, the kind of partner every officer prayed for. The pair had been together for 4 years, long enough for Adrian to recognize Blaze's moods with a single glance. The dog's amber eyes scanned the crowd constantly, reading movements, sniffing the air, processing details invisible to human senses. As Adrian guided Blaze toward the main concourse, he took in the ordinary scene. A couple hurried to their platform. A teen slept against her backpack. A businessman spilled his coffee and swore under his breath. Nothing unusual, nothing threatening, just life moving along. But Blaze slowed. His tail stiffened. His head tilted slightly to the left. Adrian's brows furrowed. "What's it, boy?" Blaze didn't answer, but his body language changed, subtle, controlled, and unmistakably alert. He wasn't reacting to a scent like explosives or contraband. No, this was different. Blaze wasn't sniffing. He was watching, following his partner's stare. Adrian spotted a woman in a long gray coat moving briskly through the crowd with 3 children. She looked hurried but composed, maybe too composed. Her youngest, a small girl with curly light brown hair, walked a step behind, her tiny hand gripping the woman's fingers. Something about the girl's eyes struck Adrian. They were wide, glassy, searching. Not the gaze of a shy child, but one trapped in silence. Blaze's ears jerked upright. The little girl lifted her trembling hand and tapped 5 times against the woman's back. Then again, 5 taps. A pause. 5 taps, barely noticeable to anyone in that busy hall. But Blaze saw it instantly. His posture locked into place. Muscles coiling, breathing sharp. Adrian's pulse quickened. "You see something?" he whispered, lowering his voice. Blaze didn't move, didn't blink, didn't breathe wrong. He was reading her. The woman tugged the child forward sharply, as if afraid of losing control. The girl stumbled, but the woman didn't stop to comfort her. She pulled harder. Blaze growled low, deep, purposeful, not aggression, warning. Adrian's instinct sparked. Blaze didn't growl without a reason. Ever. The girl looked up again, saw a second, and her eyes met. Blaze's a silent plea shimmered there. Then she tapped again, quick and desperate, like she feared missing her chance. 5 taps. Adrian had seen coded gestures before. Victims trying to communicate without alerting their captor. This one chilled him to the bone. "What are you trying to tell us, sweetheart?" Adrian murmured. Blaze stepped forward suddenly, a full body. Determined pull on the leash, the kind he never ignored. Adrian's heart pounded. Something was wrong, terribly wrong, and Blaze had just heard a cry for help no one else noticed. "All right, partner," Adrian whispered, tightening his grip on the leash. "Lead the way." Blaze lunged forward with a force that nearly pulled the leash out of Adrian's hand. The dog's muscles tightened, his stance shifting from patrol to pursuit, not aggressive, but intensely alert. Every fiber of him focused on the woman in the gray coat and the 3 children now weaving through the station crowd. "Blaze. Easy," Adrian murmured, though his own pulse hammered with tension. Blaze didn't listen. Instead, he barked a sharp, commanding sound that cut through the busy terminal like a snapped cable. Heads turned. Conversations paused. Even the loudspeaker. Announcement faltered under the intensity of that. Bark. The little girl flinched. But Adrian noticed something. Important, she didn't flinch from Blaze. She flinched from the woman. Gripping her hand, the woman turned abruptly. Her expression forced into a shaky smile. "Officer, is something wrong?" she asked, her tone smooth but trembling beneath the surface. Adrian studied her closely. "My partner seems to have picked something up. Mind if I ask you a few questions?" The woman's grip on the smallest child tightened. "We're just catching a train. Can we go?" Blaze moved again. One step forward, certain, focused. His chest rumbled with a low growl, not threatening, but deeply protective. The girl's eyes darted to Adrian, then to Blaze, then back again. Her tiny shoulders trembled. She clutched a stuffed bear so hard its fur was pressed flat. She lifted her hand again. 5 taps. This time, Adrian saw it clearly. The child wasn't tapping randomly. She wasn't clumsy. She wasn't shy. She was signaling. The woman hissed sharply under her breath. "Stop that!" she snapped at the girl, yanking her arm. Adrian stepped forward immediately. "Ma'am, I need to speak with you. Now." The woman's eyes flicked around the hall toward exits, toward crowds, toward officers. Panic danced behind her fading smile. "We're late," she whispered, voice cracking. "Please, let us go." Blaze barked again, loud, forceful, startling nearby passengers. Phones came out. People watched. The tension thickened like fog. Adrian narrowed his eyes. "Ma'am, I need you to step aside. Now." She shook her head violently. "You don't understand." Her youngest child, an older boy, maybe 8, looked up at Adrian with silent fear. The other child stared at Blaze as if seeing a lifeline. The smallest girl was trembling outright now. Adrian knelt gently. "Sweetheart," he said softly, "are you okay?" She opened her mouth, then froze, eyes darting to the woman. Blaze whined a soft, empathetic sound. Slowly, painfully. The girl lifted her hand, tapping weakly against her toy. 5 times, Adrian's heart nearly stopped. It was the universal silent code. The one taught in schools, shared online, whispered among victims who cannot speak aloud. 5 taps, "Help me," before Adrian could say another word. The woman snapped. "No." She shouted, jerking the girl toward the exit. Gasps erupted around them. "Blaze!" Adrian yelled. The Malinois moved like lightning, cutting off their path in a single powerful leap, positioning himself between the fleeing woman and the exit. His growl thundered across the marble floor. "Don't move," Adrian commanded, hand raised, stance firm. Passengers backed away. Officers emerged from every corner. The woman froze. Her face crumbled to gurr. Desperation, fear, all fighting for control. Adrian approached slowly. Let go of her hand. Silence. Blaze's growl deepened. The little girl looked up, her voice cracking as she mouthed the words again. "Help us." Adrian's chest tightened. He finally understood. Something terrible was happening, right? In front of everyone while thousands walked past, without seeing a thing. But Blaze did, and that changed everything. The atmosphere inside Riverton Central Station shifted from loud chatter to an uneasy silence. Travelers froze mid-step. Some raised their phones. Others pulled their children closer. A circle of tension formed around Adrian, Blaze the terrified children. And the woman whose carefully constructed calm was now unraveling strand by strand. "Ma'am," Adrian said firmly. "Release her hand." The woman didn't move. Her eyes darted around wildly, calculating escape routes that Blaze had already silently blocked. Sweat glistened on her temples. Her breathing came in sharp, jagged bursts, not the panic of innocence, but the panic of someone cornered. Blaze took one deliberate step forward, chest rising and falling with steady intensity. His growl wasn't chaotic. It was controlled, confident. The sound of a guardian who knew exactly what needed protecting. "Please," the woman whispered, her voice cracking. We just need to leave." "If everything is fine," Adrian replied calmly, "then you won't mind letting me check your bag." Her head snapped up. "No." The word blasted out of her as if ripped from her throat. Gasps rippled through the crowd. The little girl clutched her stuffed bear tighter, tears welling in her eyes. Adrian straightened. "I'm going to ask again. Give me the bag." The woman stepped back. Blaze barked sharp, echoing like a warning gunshot across the terminal. Two security officers rushed over, alerted by the commotion. Adrian lifted a hand to signal control. His focus stayed locked on the woman. She clutched the bag to her chest like it held her last breath. "You don't understand," she whispered. I can't let you, ma'am," Adrian interrupted gently but firmly. "Whatever's in there, you have the chance to explain. But right now, you need to put it down." The children flinched as the woman's grip tightened. Her mask of composure cracked completely. She looked like she was collapsing inside, pulled apart by fear and something darker. Finally, trembling, she set the bag on the security table. Her hands hovered above it as if she might snatch it back. Blaze growled again, a deep, primal vibration that made her flinch away. Adrian carefully opened the zipper. The crowd leaned in. Inside were ordinary items at first: clothes, snacks, toiletries. Nothing suspicious. Adrian sifted. Deeper, his hand hit something hard. Wrapped in a child's sweater, he lifted it out. A cheap, prepaid phone taped shut. "No SIM," one officer murmured. "One-way communication." Blaze barked once, sharp. His nose dipped toward the bottom compartment. Adrian reached in again. His hand brushed paper, stacks of it. He froze. Then, slowly pulled out a bundle of passports and IDs, all with different names, all with the same woman's face. The crowd gasped. The woman closed her eyes as if bracing for impact. But it wasn't. Over a thin envelope had slipped free. Landing on the table, Blaze sniffed it, then growled low, urging Adrian to open it. Inside were photographs, children, boys and girls. Some smiling, some crying, some looking like they had no idea the pictures were being taken. Taken from a distance, taken secretly. Adrian felt cold crawl up his spine. The little girl's voice shook. She told us we were going to see our dad," she whispered. "Her and the other kids?" Adrian swallowed hard. "Sweetheart, where are the other kids?" The girl's face crumbled. They don't come back." The woman lunged forward. "Stop. You don't understand." "I was forced." Adrian raised a hand sharply. "Enough." Two officers grabbed her arms. She didn't fight. She just collapsed, sobbing. "They said they'd hurt me if I didn't do it." "You don't know what they'll." Blaze barked, silencing her again. The little girl stepped closer to Adrian, voice trembling. "She said we were a group. That families share us. That it's normal." Adrian felt something inside him break. He dropped to one knee. "Listen to me," he said softly. "None of that is normal. You are safe now. All of you are." The girl's eyes filled with tears. She looked at Blaze. "He heard me," she whispered. No one else did, but he did. Adrian placed a hand on Blaze's back. "Yeah," he murmured. "He always does." Asterisk, the sun had dipped behind the city skyline, leaving Riverton wrapped in a blanket of darkness pierced by flashing police lights. Inside the station's operations room, officers hurried between desks. Radios crackling, printers churning, and maps glowing under harsh fluorescent lights. What had begun as a routine patrol had transformed into a race against time. Because the woman in the gray coat had finally told them the truth. Her real name was Daria Voss, and she wasn't traveling with her children. She was part of a much larger network, one that moved kids across state lines using fake documents and shifting identities. The prepaid phone found in her bag had been transmitting one-way coded pings. The latest one pointed to an abandoned industrial district outside town. Place where more children might still be hidden. Adrian stood beside the operations table, jaw tight, staring at the blinking red marker on the digital map. Blaze sat at his feet, chest rising and falling with calm but intense focus. The dog felt everything, every spike of tension, every pulse of worry. "We move now," the commander ordered. No delays. Minutes later, the convoy roared into the night, sirens slicing through the darkness as police vehicles sped down empty roads. Adrian sat at the front with Blaze beside him. His hand rested on the dog's vest. "You ready, boy?" he whispered. Blaze's ears flicked. His amber eyes shone with fierce determination. They arrived at the district trows of old warehouses, shadows stretching long under broken streetlights. Officers spread out, guns drawn. Flashlights cutting through the dark. Adrian unclipped Blaze's leash. "Find them." Blaze shot forward like a bullet, nose low, body stiff with instinct. He weaved through debris, leaped fallen beams, sniffed the air. Then he stopped, dead still. A soft, muffled sound echoed behind a metal door. A whimper. Adrian sprinted to catch up. "Here, this one." Officers rushed in. A crowbar pried the door open. It screeched loudly as the rusted hinges gave way. Inside, 5 frightened children huddled together. Blankets, bottles of water. A single lantern flickering weakly, and fear. So much fear. One small boy whispered, "Are you the police?" Adrian swallowed the emotion rising in his throat. "You're safe now," he said softly. "We've got you." Blaze moved gently toward them, ears down, tail low, radiating calm. The children's tears melted into relief as they touched his fur, one child hugging his neck, another burying their face in his shoulder. "He found us." One whispered. Adrian nodded. "Yeah, he always does." But the night wasn't done. A sudden roar of an engine echoed behind the warehouse. A black SUV screeched away, tires spinning across gravel. "They're escaping." An officer shouted. Blaze turned sharply, growling. Adrian didn't hesitate. "Go, Blaze." The dog sprinted, paws striking the wet pavement. Adrian tore after him, radioing backup, muscles burning with every stride. The SUV tried to disappear down the side alley, but Blaze was faster. He leaped, locking onto the driver's sleeve through the open window. The vehicle spun out violently, crashing against a fence. Officers swarmed the suspect, forcing him to the ground. "You think stopping me matters?" The man sneered. "You have no idea who we are." Adrian glared. Blaze growled a deep, thunderous sound that made the man flinch. "Maybe we don't," Adrian said coldly. "But we know who you won't be hurting anymore." The suspect was dragged away in cuffs. Hours later, dawn broke over the city, painting the sky in pale pink and gold. At the police station, the rescued children sat wrapped in blankets, sipping warm cocoa. Volunteers comforted them. Medics checked their vitals. For the first time in weeks, maybe months, they were safe. Lily, The brave girl who had given the silent signal ran to her real parents as they arrived. Their reunion cracked the hearts of every officer watching. Her parents held her as if they would never let go again. Then Lily turned and ran toward Adrian and Blaze. She knelt beside the Malinois, hugging him tightly. "You saved me," she whispered. "You saved all of us." Blaze leaned into her, quiet and steady. Adrian swallowed the lump in his throat. "He heard you, Lily," he said softly. When no one else did, she smiled through tears. She pulled something from her Paquita's small metal tag. Blaze's old canine badge. "I'm keeping this," she said. "So I never forget." Adrian knelt beside them. "You won't forget," he said gently. "Because you're part of his story now, and he's part of yours." As Lily walked away with her parents, the morning light settled softly on Blaze's fur. Adrian rested a hand on his partner's back. "You don't just protect lives," he whispered. "You change them." Blaze's ears lifted. His tail swayed once, and as the scene faded, a soft narrator's voice: "Some heroes don't need words. Some heroes simply listen." If this story touched your heart, make sure to subscribe for more tales of courage, loyalty, and the unbreakable bond between humans and their protectors.